Anyone up for Bavarian role and general developer? No. Yeah. Shiva? मैंने अपने आप को पूछा अच्छा अन्ना कौन
Good morning for the Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Saurav and I will be the sergeant in arms for today's meeting. I welcome you all to the 479th meeting of Eloquent Toastmasters Club Gurgaon. Toastmaster meeting is an MRP, mission, rule, and passion. Talking about mission of our Toastmaster Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communications and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, jump on the rules. The first rule is very simple. Please turn off your mobile phone or put them on silent mode. For that, I will give you 10 seconds. Time's up. The second rule, as a Toastmaster, we don't talk about sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner. The third rule is please do not cross talk for online audience. Please put yourself on mute if you're not speaking. Turn off your video if you're stepping out of the meeting. This would help to avoid distractions for our speakers. Let's come on the passion. Eloquent is the fifth consecutive president distinguished club. Salute to the blood and sweat of the members and EC who have worked tirelessly to make it happen. Now, I am handing the stage to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Dixita. Over to you.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Thank you, Sergeant and Arms, for setting the tone of the meeting. So, big round of applause for encouraging ourselves to attend this meeting on a Saturday morning. And welcome to 479 meeting of Eloquent Toastmasters. So before we start, I just like to announce a very important announcement that I'd like to congratulate Prince, who has decided to join us as Associate VP Education. So he and Manal will be working together as VP Education. Welcome. So I could see few guests today. So let's start with the guest now. So Himanshu, would you like to come and introduce yourself and how to hear about us?
Yeah. I've recently relocated from Mumbai in the middle of switching jobs. And yeah, the reason for being here is basically improving on these soft skills. As you grow more senior in your role at work, you need to work on these things. So that is why I'm here. And also, it's an opportunity to network with people over here, like outside of work. So I'm looking forward to doing that as well.
Thank you, Himanshu, for the lovely introduction. So let's move on to our online guest. I could see Nidusha. Hi, Nidusha. How are you? Welcome to Eloquent Toastmasters. Can you just unmute yourself and introduce yourself and how did you hear about our club?
First of all, I need to confirm whether am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Nidusha Shantakumar and I'm from Sri Lanka. And I'm pursuing my bachelor's in Banaras Hindu University. And in Sri Lanka, I've been a part of Toastmasters Club, which called Vatala Toastmasters Club for like past 3 to 4 years. And I've been a VP education there. And after shifting to India, I was unable to get the position of presidency, but it's okay. I'm finding more opportunities here. Like while I was searching for Toastmasters Club in Banaras, unfortunately, I couldn't find it. And through social media, I was searching for online sessions. But this time, fortunately, I found this Toastmasters club, and as I contacted the president, and yeah, I hope today the meeting will be. I will learn a lot from here, and the meeting will be more interesting. As far as I see many, bright faces today. So I'm so excited about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nidrisha. Lovely introduction and welcome to India, Nidrisha.
Thank
So
you.
let's, and we do have one more guest, that's guest Aditya. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Aditya. I learned about Eloquent Toastmasters when I was having a chai in Chayos, and they were having a separate meeting, I guess, over there. And I reached out to Dikshita, what exactly, I've been part of Toastmaster, but I've been on and off from past few years. So I thought that it's a good time to get back into that track. Try to improve my communication skills and get to my fellow Toastmasters as well. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Aditya. So today we do have a special guest who is actually serving us as a Toastmaster of the day. He's basically a clinical research professional. He has a deep passion for storytelling. He's the foundation of Passion for Purpose, and he's a keynote speaker. And we are grateful to him for his leadership and commitment to elevate this club to its new heights. A round of applause for Toastmaster Chintan.
Thank you
Over
so
to you.
much, Toastmaster Dikshita, for that wonderful and warm introduction. Am I audible clearly to both physical and online audiences?
Yes.
Thank you. Hi, Toastmaster Ashish. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes.
Perfect. Yours is the loudest and cleanest voice I could hear, apart from Dikshita. So, yeah, thank you. Now, how many of you have seen this piece of instrument? Right? We all have seen. And do you know what these are? Anyone?
No, sorry. Tuners. These are tuners.
Tuners, right? What happens if the instrument is out of the tune?
It will sound bad.
Sorry?
It will sound bad.
It will sound bad. And that's exactly what happens to us. We go out of tune when we have difficult conversations, when we have difficult communication with the peers, with our bosses, with our partners, or even with our parents, isn't it? We all go out of tune because we are innate, configured, and wired to respond emotionally when things go south. And that's where the real eloquence come into picture. Anyone can be eloquent when things are perfectly fine. But when things go wrong, that's where our strengths are tested. And today, I'll be helping you out, sharing my few tidbits of how you can jam with your instrument. You can have duet or you can have chorus without going out of the sync. I'll give a minute to settle the room.
But you can go ahead. We can hear you clearly.
Yeah. So today we are going to discuss few things, few tidbits about how we remain in sync with the partners or with our bosses or our peers, and we don't go out of tune so that the rhythm of our relationship is maintained and we don't sound awful or horrible. Does it sound good? Now raise your hand if you have ever been into the difficult communication or difficult conversation. And who can share any one story or any one incident which happened recently? Anyone from either online or offline audiences? Yeah, Toastmaster Nidrusha.
When it comes to communication, the language is really important. So when I came to India for the first time, I had a huge problem in language, which I never had a thought that I should learn that language, which is Hindi. So I know Tamil, I mean South language, but I don't know North language. So it is a vast country where it has a multiple languages. So to communicate even a simple thing in a normal conversation, it was very difficult. But after some days and months, I started to learn the gestures of people, the accent that they use. So I started to understand the language. No, I didn't study the language, but I started to understand the language. So that's how my journey of difficulty in communication went on, and still it's going on.
Yeah, I can totally relate. Yeah. I mean, I am not from another country, but yeah, I have incidences where I did not know the language and I landed in trouble just because I was not aware. And one way to be better in terms of difficult communication, as the case mentioned by Nirdusha, is to read the room or to read the people who are sitting across you. You should be able to gauge a person by the body language. A simple twitch on their face, a micro expression on in their eyes, or how they react, whether they are touching their face or whether they are touching their nose, or are they open to even communicate, or they are not receptive at all. Those all count when you are in the difficult communication. When someone is coming very hard at you in terms of real difficult conversation, when someone yells at you, what's our natural tendency? Has it ever happened to you that your boss or your colleague or your friend or your parent came rushing down to you or cuts you off where you want to share something or where you want to not say something, but they just cut you off and they yells at you? Has it ever happened to any one of you? It happened to me a lot. Anyone has faced similar instances in life? May I see the raised hand? What would be your natural reaction to that, Toastmaster Vidushi? If someone yells at you or if someone is just coming you with all the guns blazing, how would you react?
One second, one second. Can you hear me, Chandra?
Yeah,
So, I think the general reaction which people would say would be that we'll fight back or we'll give it back rather than we'll give it angry. But with me, I think it is quite the opposite. So at that point, I think I take time to digest what exactly is happening with me. And then later I realize that, I should have given it back. It was really bad. Then I have to go back to the person and, calmly and certainly I have to reopen everything and say that I do not like it. So this is something that, I feel that I'm working on. And with me, the cases that in the bathroom, I get the comebacks that I should have said this, but at the moment, I could not say anything.
agreed. And it happens to all of us. And few phrases which I discovered or which I came across or stumbled upon from different sources, which help in the scenario when someone yells at you, is the first thing is not to yell back. It sounds so logical, but we all forget. It's like a cricket match. When there is a batter and the bowler is throwing you wide balls, but you are still going out of the way and trying to hit it. And those who play the cricket knows there are only two options when you go very outside, touching white ball, that either you miss it or you will give it a catch. But in both the cases, you will be losing a lot of energy, right? So to do avoid this kind of scenarios, just watch their words like white balls, which you need to just let go. Watch their words coming at you and let them fall on the ground, right? Just visualize those words which are coming right at you on your face rather than giving it back on their face. You just let them drop on the ground and see how they react, because they get the dopamine hit when you react. Until you react, they are absolutely helpless. So first thing is to just observe their words fall on the ground without affecting you. Let those white balls go away from you and don't even dare to touch those balls. Second thing which you can do is ask them to repeat what they said. You heard me right. You already had heard it once and you need to hear it again. The reason is when someone says something in the heat of the moment or when someone yells at you and you ask them to repeat, most often than not, they rephrase their sentences because they realize and they reflect in the second attempt that they make. They think that they have got over the line, they have crossed the boundaries or they have spoken the wrong words and they retract or backtrack from those words. And that is a win for you because now you have a common ground to talk about. And the third thing, which I love, is to ask rhetorical question to the person who's yelling at you. And ask the question, listen to this carefully, ask the question on intent, not about what they said. Just ask them, does it mean to hurt me? Did you say with the intent to embarrass me? Now, when you ask such powerful question, most often than not, they refuse and they change their statements or they calm down because they realize what they have done to you. Until you say them very clearly, did you mean that? Did you mean to feel me ashamed? Was there your intent? Just ask them the question in a way about their intent, and you will see that they will close the guard, they will put down their tools, and then you will be in the range of discussing the things in a very normal and favorable condition. And if any of this don't work, the best thing to do in this case is let your breath be your words. Now, what do I mean by let your breath be your words? Just stay silent. Because when they are yelling, you do not match their energy. And when you become silent, you allow them to react to your energy and they will come back to your energy for sure. So remember these three things when someone yells at you. The very first thing is just let the words fall on the ground. Second, ask the intent questions. Ask why they said what they said and let them reflect on their own words. And the third thing is to be silent. And that way, you can refuse to participate in a yelling match where there is no win. If you do this, then there are much more probability of both the parties coming together in a more favorable way and come to a conclusion which is a win-win for the person who's yelling at you and for you as well. With that note, let me tell you the structure of Toastmasters meeting. The structure of Toastmasters meeting is divided into three parts. The first part, where the prepared speeches will be delivered by prepared speakers who come prepared from the pathway modules. The second part, where everyone, even the guests, can participate, is the table topic section, where a topic will be thrown at you and you will need to speak impromptu. And this is a great fun exercise to improve our communication. So I request every guest to come on the stage and experience the power of public speaking. And the third and the most important section is the general evaluation section, in which the general evaluator will be giving the evaluation of what happened right and how we can do things better. To do that, let me help welcome the general evaluator of the day, who's none other than Toastmaster Dikshita. Toastmaster Dikshita, the stage is yours.
Good morning, everybody. And today I will be playing the role of a general evaluator. So by evaluations, we basically mean feedbacks, and feedbacks are quite important for our growth. And as everybody knows, all the feedbacks are not negative. I know feedback means increases our heartbeat, but definitely all the feedbacks are not negative. We can definitely work on our feedbacks in case it's been provided in a constructive manner, which is very important for our growth and for our mental peace as well. So here I'll be basically evaluating the structure of the meeting, as well as I'll be evaluating the evaluators who will be evaluating the prepared speeches, and I'll be evaluating the table topics before as well. Okay. And with this, without my team, I won't be able to complete my work. So I do have a team which will definitely help me in keeping track of the time, the filler words, and as well as the time and the filler words and the grammarian. Okay. For the timer, I welcome Toastmaster Soros.
Hello everyone, I am Saurabh and for today's meeting, I will be the timer, and as you know, these three cards have their own rules. Let me explain you. There are three sections. The first section is for prepared speeches, the time durations will be 5 to 7 minutes. This green card I will show at 5 minutes, and his brother is yellow card. I will show at 6 minutes. At 7, I will show this red card. It means you have to stop it. I will continue to show this card until I quit. And the second section is for table topics. The time duration is different, like 1 to 2 minutes. Green card I will show at 1 minute, and at 1 minute 30 seconds I will show this yellow card. At max 2 minutes I will show this red card. I will continue to show this card until I quit. And the last section is for evaluators. The time duration is 2 to 3 minutes. And again, I will show this green card at 2 minutes and yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds. At last 3 max minute, 3 minutes, I will show this red card, and I will continue show this card until I quit. And at last, I will show my detailed report. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saurav, to explain your role pretty well. Thank you so much for that. Mohit, I can see you raised your hand. Do you want to say something? Okay, all right. We'll just continue with the flow of the meeting. So let's welcome our grammarian, Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dikshita. I have been asked to pick this role on the fly, so that's okay. So as a grammarian, I will take note of the good usage of words and not so good usage of words, and I'll share my report during the evaluation phase. So as a grammarian, I was also supposed to introduce one word of the day and one phrase. And the word that I want to introduce with you, it's a very interesting word. I just read it yesterday. It is cognitive offloading. This is somewhere came in the AI. So it was said the excessive use of using chat GPT and other large language models can lead to the cognitive offloading. What does it mean? If we, if we reduce or everything we rely on the chat GPT are saying, so our muscles, our mind, if we start applying them, so it may go into the degradation stage. So that's why they want to maintain the balance over here. So that's why a lot of debate is going how much we should rely on these tools or how much we should do on your own. The first word was cognitive offloading. The second one was envious. Envious means someone, you feel jealous, maybe in a very healthy way. For example, I'm seeing Toastmaster Chintan coming on the stage after a very long time, but seeing his, elevated conversation and, the way he's speaking over here, I'm started feeling a little bit envious about it. So that's pretty much for me. I'll put these two words in the chat box as well. So over to you, back to General Evaluator, Toastmaster Dikshita.
Thank you, Mr. Anurag, for explaining your role well. So let's now welcome my third team member, our counter, Toastmaster Vivek.
Hello, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Hope you are able to hear me. Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. So I take the pleasure of playing a counter role today. So my role will be to note down all the filler words used by the speakers. I will show my report at the evaluation section. So filler words such as like, so, you know. So I'll note it down. Will show my report. So the purpose of the this role is to minimize using filler words, so that speaker can convey their message very impactfully. So whenever any stuck of thought, you can use silence or pause. This will make your next sentence much more impactful. So thank you, Toastmaster Dikshita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vivek, for explaining your role. So before we move on to the next section, please gentlemen introduce our prepared speakers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dikshita, did you mention something? Is my session on the way? I mean, is there a change?
No. You just have
Okay.
to introduce the speakers now.
Yep, I'll do that. Thank you. And before I do that, let me ask you all a question. What you all think is the root cause or the reason most of the times in conflict? What causes conflict most of the times? Anyone?
Tone of communication.
Sorry?
Tone of the communication.
Tone of the communication, that is right. Any other answer?
Different views.
Different views, obviously, yes. Agreed. Any other answer?
Ego.
Misunderstanding.
Sometimes hierarchy.
Sorry?
Ego.
Ego, yeah, that is one of the most root cause, yeah, I would say. Any other thing? What I
Conflicting
experienced?
interest.
Sorry?
Conflicting interest of both.
Conflicting interest. Yeah, you also mentioned similar to what Toastmaster Vivek had mentioned. I think Vivek had mentioned about different views. And Toastmaster Rhythm, it would be great. Ansi, Mohit, Nirdusha, if you turn on your cameras, it is good to talk with the faces rather than the nameplates. So yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Mohit. Thank you, Nirdusha. What I have seen most often than not, the conflict arises because of the unspoken expectation or the expectations which are not conveyed. The root cause which Vivek mentioned, what Rhythm mentioned, that different of opinions. But the other person not even know that you have difference of opinion or you have some weightage of experience expectation from other person. Let's say I have expectation from Toastmaster Anurag to do something for me, but I haven't received that, or I expected him to do something, but it has never happened. And this we see in all aspects of life, even in professional careers, where the bosses expect their employees to work in a certain way, but then they don't react. And everything starts or stems from that very beginning. That leads to the confusion, the difference of opinions, and then ego comes into play as they believe that they should act in certain way, but they don't because it has never been communicated. So having communication for conflict is much better than conflict itself. So don't shy away if you are in conflict with someone. Invite them to have the conversation of conflict and resolve them rather than having the wrong expectations or unsaid expectations, which is the root cause of most of the conflicts. And the phrases which you can use to invite someone for the conflict conversation, because it is something very delicate. If you are inviting someone for the conflict conversation, you cannot directly yell or you cannot directly invite someone for the conversation, or you cannot start with this sugary small pep talk like how are you doing, how has the life been. Always it is good to start with the problem rather than the person. And few phrases which I found useful are: the first one, asking the person, would you help me better our relationship, or would you help us become better? Now the focus is not on you, the focus is not on the person, but the focus is on the relation. If you are an employee and the boss is having a conflict and you want to resolve, you may want to ask that, would you help me become a better contributor? In this way, you can directly pinpoint a problem rather than a person. And when you can distinguish between the problem and the person, your half of the conflict is resolved. And the rest half you can resolve in the real conversation. But at least to start the conversation of conflict will benefit you a lot, rather than having the unsaid expectations or unsaid communication. With that note, let me welcome on the stage our very first speaker of the day. And the very first speaker of the day is Toastmaster Vidushi. As far as I can recollect, Toastmaster Vidushi is a detective. She's a Toastmaster who's passionate for public speaking, but she's an investigator at heart. And she's back to Eloquent Toastmasters being prepared as a speaker. I have to accept that I took out the T-mode slot which she wanted. So soon we will see her as a T-mode. But right now, let me welcome on the stage her speech evaluator, Toastmaster Anurag Singh, on the stage to lay out her speech objective and purpose of the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chintan. The target speaker today is giving her level 4 project first speech on the pathways presentation mastery. The purpose of the speech is to evaluate the skills needed to write a blog or to maintain the blog. And the timing for the speech is 2 to 3 minutes. Best of luck, Toastmaster Vidushi. Over to you, Toastmaster Chintan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anurag. And Toastmaster Vidushi Madan. The stars said right, so I did. The stars said right, so I did. Toastmaster Vidushi Madan.
Just the audio and video check. Am I perfectly visible and audible to the online audience? Just a thumbs up too.
Yes, you are audible.
A few years back, I met a farmer. He looked at my hand, took few seconds. Probably he was doing some math. And he told me, Vidushi, you know what? You should write. You all fortune through words. And I don't know why, at that time it sounded to me similar to my manager in my office telling me, you know what, Vidushi, you should do this project. It will be a great experience. And we all know, whenever the statement comes, it's just nice a bit. So good afternoon, my dear friends. And I don't know about you all, but at that time, my longest written work were my WhatsApp messages. And guess what? They had finished. But fast forward to today, I have a blog. I've written 12 articles in past few months. And I'm still learning. Now coming to my blogging journey, it was very difficult in the start. I remember I used to go to different cafes, I used to work. I was just sitting there, I had a blank worksheet in my laptop open for the first 3 times. And I didn't know where to start. Just going, sitting, and coming back, just having coffee. And I believe the reason was that I had a lot of questions in my mind. I wanted to have every step exhausted before even starting. I wanted to know everything. How will I have my blog? How will I have my website? Who will even watch my blog? Where will I get the content from? It's similar to thinking that all the traffic signals will be green when I leave the house. And as we all know, the probability of that is very less. So somehow I pushed myself and I started with sharing my personal experiences, like how my childhood was, what was my bond with my parents, my career, etc. It was like writing my diary, which was comparatively easier and just writing out myself. And I obviously know myself. I did not have to search for content. As I moved ahead in the last 2 weeks, I've also written about my Toastmasters journey. So I've also shared the blog in the group. So you all feel free to say it, give me feedback. And one of my favorite blogs is being yourself in a roundabout. So in that, I've shared my complete journey of my confidence, how Toastmasters has helped me in past few years. And interestingly, there's a picture in that blog which is of they went for the district level speech contest, and there were few people there. I was also giving a speech. The was there. It's not part of it anymore, but I remember. So the picture was that, which I still remember. I 2 years back. Right? So I started with that blogging journey. And now coming to what I feel is important for the blogging, there are 4 factors in my opinion. The number one being so by observing the world, we get the content. We get the content to write. So I think as a first step, observation is very important. Then moving to the next one, it is emotion. So I completely advocate the concept of letting my heart seep into the words. And I believe that it is through emotions that we connect with. Even if I'm reading something, even if I'm reading, it is through emotions. If I could connect with them, if I could relate my story to them, that I can connect. So emotions are very important in my. The third one being editing. Since we write our first draft, it is literally just dumping everything, whatever you can think of, whatever you have in your mind. It is finally the editing which can define it. And I also believe that editing gives different perspectives. For example, if you have an editor who is a different person, that person can read and give a perspective. My third point was editing. The fourth point is the most important one in my opinion, and I think if this one is not there, the first three doesn't make any sense. So the fourth one is consistency. Sometimes I've observed about myself that I get attracted to one task that I want to run. So I started and I go like this, maybe of course like this, that I'm very curious, very interested about it. Then in few days I stop having interest and my graph comes there. And so consistency I believe is very important. And I've been trying to and I've been writing for 6 months. So the 4 factors which I think are very important for the blogging experience. And honestly, I don't know if it was actually written in my hand, in the stars, but I somewhere feel that in my subconscious mind, I really wanted to write. So I let the thought stick into my head like a pop-up ad that comes in a YouTube video that doesn't even have a skip button. I let it, come into me, stay with me, and I started writing. And I'm still working on it. So, my dear friends, what are your stars telling you of lately? And are you guys listening to it? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vidushi. And now let us observe a minute of silence so that we can pass on our feedback to Toastmaster Vidushi either on WhatsApp, or if you are offline, you may pass it on a cheat.
In the meantime, we can do audio video. Am I clearly audible and visible?
Yes, clearly audible, visible,
Yes.
perfectly fit.
On my own screen, I see some running as if it's a running.
Yeah,
screen.
that is there from the very beginning. The camera has some blurriness, which is a constant stream of black and white, but it's visible better. Yeah, this one is better. Ashish, yeah.
Is it better
This
now?
is perfect. Yeah. This is better. Yeah, Toastmaster Sumita, you raised your hand.
Yes, I want to hear a longer sentence from him because the previous speaker was, the voice was sometimes breaking for me.
Yes, sure. So, Toastmaster Ashish, would you speak a longer sentence just for us to check?
Yes. Am I clearly audible and visible, Sumeda?
Yes. Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have shared the feedback to Toastmaster Vidushi. If not, you still can. But in the meanwhile, let's welcome on the stage Toastmaster Ashish Agrawal. Now, Toastmaster Ashish is a chartered accountant and a very dear friend, partner in crime for me from very beginning of my Toastmasters journey. We had our fair share of conflict when we initially began, but as Toastmaster Ashish, a guy who knows and championed the conflict, he made sure that we remain friends throughout. With that note, let me welcome on the stage another great Toastmaster, Toastmaster Sumedha, on the stage to lay out the objective and purpose of the speech of Toastmaster Ashish. Over to you, Toastmaster Sumedha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chintan. Good morning, everyone. I am Sumedha, and I would be evaluating Toastmaster Ashi's speech today. He is attempting his level 3 project 1 from engaging humor pathways. The objective of his speech are to determine his style of humor and apply it to the speech. He may add a story in his speech or an anecdote to show the humor part of his side, and then I would be evaluating him on the clarity, vocal variety, audience awareness, humor, and structure of the speech. I wish him all the best. I would be coming back in the end with his evaluation. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sumedha. Toastmaster Ashish Agarwal. And the winner is Toastmaster Ashish Agarwal.
Once upon a time, there was a race between the two legends, a hare and a tortoise. Slow and the steady tortoise dug deep, and the talented but overconfident hare went for a sleep.
Just a
Was
second, Toastmaster Ashish. Your voice is very feeble. I believe Toastmaster Sumedha also can't listen or confirm me. Yeah. It's very
Yes,
feeble.
yes.
Yeah. We can hear just the alphabets and not the entire sentences.
Is it better now?
Yeah, this is better.
Okay, so I'll start again. Okay,
Yeah,
timer, please.
let me announce. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Toastmaster Ashish Agarwal, and the winner is Toastmaster Ashish Agarwal.
Once upon a time, there was a race between the two legends, a tortoise and a hare. Slow but the steady tortoise dug deep, and the talented but overconfident hare went for a sleep. And the winner of the story was
Tortoise.
all have heard. Yeah. My dear Toastmasters, if I ask you a question, whom do you relate to more? The slow and the steady tortoise, or the talented, cute, and a bit lazy hare? Those of you who relate with the tortoise? No one. There is one. Yeah, no tortoise is here. Okay. Those of you who relate with the hares, huh? There are neither hare nor tortoises. Let me ask again. Those of you who relate with the tortoise, a little bit. That is, you are slow and steady in your life. Slow and steady in your life. Okay, quite a few now. And those of you who relate with the hare, okay, interesting. For me, I am a hybrid breed, right? And somewhat like my friend. And let me tell you why. I was fast and consistent when it came to playing video games. Right? I was slow and lazy when it came to studying. My parents found me sleeping at the random places. And my mantra in the life was very, very clear. When in doubt, sleep it out. I loved my sleep. But my parents initially used to point out, but kind of love me because I was one of their loving child. They didn't have an issue over it till the point I failed my maths exam. When I returned back home with my mark sheet, my home turned into a jungle. The Mufasa, my dad, was particularly upset. And what I found that he happened to be very bright in maths before he left his school, left his high school. That day was tough. My ears of the rabbit turned red. I had earful failing that math exams. That incident woke up my rabbit instinct and I started digging deeper. How to find a way to succeed. And what I learned is that repetition is the mother of success. You all would have heard it. With this, the mother was sorted. But as you know, no creation can happen without the father. So then the next job was to find out who's the father. Only mother is not going to help me. So I dug deeper. And what I learned that failure is orphan. Yeah, makes sense. Yes, failure is orphan. But success has many fathers. Orphan, many fathers. In either case, it wasn't clear who's the father. And this digging, I was totally confused. How to find the father of success? And you know the mantra of my life? When in doubt, sleep it out. So I kept sleeping and slipping. My grades slipped. Soon, my 10th board result arrived. By that time, the expectations of my parents had come down from there to here. But when the result was announced, the principal said, and the topper is Mr. Ashish Agarwal. I was not just the topper in the school, I was the topper in the entire district. Listening to this, I wasn't walking, I was floating on cloud 9. My God, a person who was scoring meager suddenly had been announced as the topper of the district. And that experience really made me see a lot of jaws drop. I was wondering how it happened. A lot of people were asking me, but I wish I only knew. I had no clue because, as you know, the success has many fathers. So my success was. But about a week later, a letter bomb dropped at my home. And that letter read, Mr. Ashish Agarwal, there was an error in your result. Your actual marks are 15% lower. Oof. Suddenly, the topper became a flopper. But that experience broke the shell of my tortoise. I started working hard after that, being consistent this time on the study, and finally became the chartered accountant. Ever since our childhood, we are taught to succeed. We are pushed to succeed. We look at life from the perspective of the winner. But have you ever thought from the perspective of those who don't win? Like in our story, the hare who did not win. Have you ever thought why that hare entered into a race with the tortoise? What was there for the hare to win? Could hare have posted on the Instagram that I have won from tortoise? It won't make sense, isn't it? There is absolutely nothing to win. It's like you playing game with a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old. There is not even a contest. But perhaps the purpose of the hare was to let tortoise win that day. And that none of us think. In life, this winner take it all approach is grasping us very, very hard. 93% of people own wealth equal to the top 3% of people. And that's the starking difference which we all have created by chasing the win, by chasing the winning So instead of winning the trophies, my message to all of you, let's try to win hearts and minds of people and go for what Henry Ford says. Coming together is progress and working together is success. Back to you, dear Modi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashish. And now let's observe a minute of silence and kindly share your feedbacks either on Zoom chat or personal WhatsApp or group of the club, or maybe when you are offline, just pass it on a piece of paper. Thank you so much. And in today's meeting, I believe we have a slight change that Toastmaster Sumedha will be giving an evaluation right after this speech. I believe, right, Toastmaster Dikshita?
Yes, Chintan.
Yeah.
I can
So-
stay. I can stay. The other meeting has got over, so I will stay till the end. No worries. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you
Earlier
so
I
much. Yeah, no worries. Thank you. So let's continue with the standard template of Toastmasters and a huge round of applause for both the speakers and both the evaluators. Now, as we discussed till now about inviting someone into conflict conversation, the real hit begins. You need to understand the room temperature and you need to read the person, read the room of how to communicate in the conflict. Any idea how you will start the conversation when you are in the conflict? Toastmaster Anurag, maybe I want to hear from an online audience that if you are in the conflict and you want to open the conversation, what kind of phrases or what things you can share at the very beginning?
Thank you, Toastmaster Chintan, for putting me on spot. So actually, I'll tell you the real incident that happened with me very yesterday over. So actually, I had taken a home loan. Yesterday, I got a call from them. It was 2 years back. It was State Bank of India. They told me, sir, one of your document is missing and you have to submit it as soon as possible. Otherwise, we are going to levy 2% extra on it. So luckily the office was nearby. So in the evening I went there. I asked them what was the matter all about. It was very small document, however, but the question was that I raised, the way he started with it, if you did not submit the document soon, we are going to levy 2%. I got a little bit furious. If my documentation was not completed, why the loan was sanctioned at the first instance? See my credit history. And now after 2 years, you are asking me one of the document was shortfall. That's not fair. I raised my pitch a little bit, but then I understood his only point was, sir, we are only concerned with documentation. What is your credit history? That the bank will take care. We are not listed. It's our work to see the documentation. It came out in the audit process, so you have to submit it. He was quite high in the beginning. I was also matching his pace in the beginning, but and then I realized if I fought like this way, we are definitely not going to reach anywhere. I calm it down. I understood the concept. And parallelly, I also made him understand, sir, you might have communicated me in a little bit softer way. After a long period, we came across this thing was missing. It's very shortfall. You can, make it up because you definitely have a copy of it. But the tone and way it was passed on to you was not, acceptable. He agreed with me. And finally, we end the conversation, in a very good mood. So then I realized, make up my mind, there are some difficult conversations. Maybe the other party is not right in such cases that we assume to be, but there are still, how I am going to react, I totally have control over it. So my reaction and how I take the situation, I can definitely take it to the positive end. So that approach in future I should adopt. If definitely these difficult conversation will come into a lifetime to time after that, but we can adopt certain ledges and then we can go according to it to deal with them for the better outcomes. So those conversations will be every with your family, with your spouse, and in your office atmosphere, everywhere these things happens in these days. So
Thank
that's why I
you.
would like to tackle it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I totally relate. I mean, we all have seen people who are on a different tangent, who want to share something which is not at all aligned to what we want to share. And we need to bring it to the direction where we want to go. And few things which I learned to set the tone right is to set a frame. You use the right words to make a common ground, and few phrases which help to set the ground is starting with setting a frame, that what you expect at the end. When you start saying, let's say you want to share someone who has embarrassed you or who has made fun of you, you might want to sit down with a person saying that this has happened last time and I felt bad. But after today, we don't want to talk over the same and we don't want to discuss this again. Would you agree? And when you ask, would you agree, you buy in their objective or their say, it feels like they are being heard. And once they have agreed to your frame, you win the argument or you win the conflict situation, because now you can always go on the same direction which you set, which the person has agreed by themselves, and you can win or you can go in the direction which you can set rather than you are moving on a direction which they are set. And this is called the controlling frame technique, that you set the frame, you call out what you want at the end, you buy in, you make them agree to what you want, and then start the conversation. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anurag, for sharing that. And with that, let's start the table topics session. And today, to conduct the table topics, we have, let me read out the agenda. Sorry for that. For table topics master, we have none other than Toastmaster Prince. So may I request Toastmaster Prince to please come on the stage and help us conduct the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters, for today's event. Thank you. So yeah, honest conversations are never easy, but they build trust, not tension. So good afternoon, everyone, to the Toastmasters and guests. So I am Prince Jindal, your Toastmaster or your table topic master of the day. So whether it is giving feedback, setting boundaries, or simply saying no, we have all had moments where words were hard but not necessary. Today, let's bring those moments to light spontaneously. So just for guest reference, let me just rephrase what Saurabh told us. So this particular session is basically a talk to speaking segment, wherein you will be given a couple of minutes to speak on a particular topic. And I will request volunteer to raise their hand, or they can unmute themselves to take the stage. So when it comes to timing, at 1 minute, a green card would be flashed on the screen. So when you complete 1 minute 30 seconds, a yellow card will be shown, and once you complete 2 minutes, the timer would show the red card. So let's start with something fun and easy. So what's the weirdest or funniest conversation that you have ever had, and how did it end? So who would like to volunteer? I can start calling names then. Please. Please, Vidusha. Vidushi.
Thank you.
So Vidushi, what's the weirdest or funniest conversation you have ever had, and how did it end? So what do you think?
Thank you. So yesterday I was talking to my brother, and I'm really fond of cats, which he is not fond of. So yesterday I received a call actually of a lady who manages cats, and they sell them. And so I went to her, I had messaged her, and she called me in front of my brother. I was speaking to her and I asked for pictures. So he started gnashing back that why are you even talking about cats? So I said, because I want a cat. And I think I was not really prepared for a conversation. He gave me all the reasons why we should not have one. who will take care of her. She will make our house dirty, and it's like having a baby in the house, you say. And my counter argument to that was that cat will give me cuddles. And somehow I was not prepared, and I did not have any other reason to counter back and tell him why I want a cat. The only reason I wanted it for that the cat will give me cuddles. So I somehow in my head felt stupid that this reason will not make sense. And obviously my brother born, and we are still having an argument. I think we will have it yesterday. We will have it today also. But it somehow sounded weird to me. So that was my experience.
Thank you. Winning and losing is not important. So yeah, it is very important to put across your perspective. So thank you. So let's talk about so we have the second question. Who would like to volunteer? So audience, yeah. Please come over on the stage. So guest Aditya, what a tough talk you avoid what's a tough talk you avoided and later regretted? Aditya, let me repeat. What's a tough talk you avoided and later regretted? Over to you.
It was in 2015. I had this epiphany. I was in a very difficult conversation with a person, and I was furious, angry. How exactly I'm going to say something to that person? And the epiphany was that I can see as an observer that I was not myself. There was another person who was getting angry. And that was a very odd experience. I don't know if anybody has experienced that. And somehow I read a book, The Untethered Soul, which talks about this thing that your emotions, how you react, it's actually a different thing, not you. And from that day onwards, I've been having this difficult conversation with that person, which is in my mind. So whenever I'm talking to someone and there's an argument, that person comes up and says, you know what, you should try this. You know what, you should do this. And I just take a pause and listen to that person. And I think, is he crazy? Just think about this. If you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, within seconds, who change his or her emotions? I love you, I hate you. I want to take you somewhere else for dinner. I will give you a punch. You think the other person is crazy, right? But that's how exactly your mind or my mind used to behave as well. And I have been having this thing and trying to tackle this person. Even when I was sitting over there, I wanted to be the first person to come on this stage. But you know what? That person said, you know, this topic, the topic which been shared, that you won't be able to speak better. I should be able to control that person. That you know what I want to do that, but I was not able to do it. So I am actually in practice to have that difficult conversation again and again with that person and trying to win. Sometimes I won, sometimes I have lost. But you know what? I learned this lesson that if I would encounter this particular phenomena and be consistent, as Toastmasters shared, being consistent in facing that person, I think I would be done much better. Thank you.
So now let's get back to the question. So we have who would like to volunteer first? So let me tell you one thing. So this is a segment wherein a guest can also participate. You wanna come over?
Sure.
Sorry.
Nidusha.
Nidusha.
Yeah.
So yeah, hi Nidusha. Yeah.
Hi.
Yes. So yeah, Nidusha. So
Yeah. Can I know the topic?
yes, certainly. Allow me a second.
Yeah, sure.
Welcome to the club. So yeah, Nidusha, guess Nidusha, is silence better than a tough conversation? Is silence better than a tough conversation? Nidusha.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I luckily got a topic which is really related to my personality. We always have a belief that silence is the main enemy for all the conversation. But we forgot that silence is the best solution for all the problems. My dear Toastmasters, there are many conversations that we did without acknowledging that it can lead to a problem. In case of providing more opinions, may also produce complex problems in our life. For example, when someone is trying to convey or making a conversation very emotionally, we also try to say, "No, nothing happened. Example, this happened to me." Recently, heard a very bad news from my friend. Actually, a parent passed away a few days ago. What I did was I expected him, seeing a lot. I convinced that okay, it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal because I say to a child that okay, it's not. It is good or it is okay to lose. It's not right. Only she expects me from is silence. Just listen to her. She needs an ear to listen. But unfortunately, I'm unable to understand that a lot and make to change her mood. But it turned into a bad view about my personality. So, my dear Toastmasters, sometimes it's better to be silent rather than making a bad comment on any situation. Over to you.
Thank you, guest Vidushi. Wonderful speech. So yeah, I would like to welcome guest Himanshu. Welcome to the stage, Himanshu. So yeah, so Himanshu, you were just telling us that you are in the middle of speaking your right special topic for you. So how do you say no to your new boss? How do you say no to your new boss? Yes, Himanshu, over to you.
Right. Yeah, I think it's important to have open conversations with your bosses. And it's important to like put your point forward like with conviction. And I don't see any like reason to hesitate. Like there could be scenarios where the expectations are unreasonable from your boss. Maybe he expects you to spend maybe 15 hours, 16 hours a day at work. So yeah, like it is up to you to make a choice of like deciding whether that expectation is reasonable or not. And if you think if it's unreasonable, it is totally okay for you to put your point forward. You need to make sure that that you are not being very offensive. Boss is not your enemy. He also wants you to succeed. And like he could be your enemy if the person is like personality wise there are some issues. So you have to figure those things out. If the environment is very negative, you should probably look into switching jobs. If it is a high performance environment where the expectations are very high, then you take a call whether you want to work there. And if you do want to work there, then you just go ahead and push yourself. That would lead to your personality growing, your skills growing. But yeah, like Like I think in a professional environment, it's always good to be professional. Like not make any comments which are very personal, uh, and like convey your points with respect, uh, and yeah, take the decision depending on how the environment is.
Great. Great. It is really important to, understand the environment first and, set the expectation. So yeah, I have one last question. I would like to to the stage. So, what is harder? Picking up or what is harder? Picking up or listening up? Toastmasters.
In a date-based scenario, let's say a meeting or conversation with our managers, oftentimes happens that the person talking to, they overreact. Just like Toastmasters mentioned that they scold you or they shout at you unnecessarily. In those scenarios, you have a tendency to fight back, to go against the person and shout out loud. But ideally, what we can do is, or what I practice is just to be quiet at that moment. And at that stage, being silent becomes harder. But when it comes to talking about or presenting your work in front of the team, in front of the stakeholders, at that instance, a lot of us they are shy or they don't come up much. But at that instance, we must come forward to present what we have done, present ourselves, and take the spot and take the stage. So I believe being silent, observing others, and coming up, presenting yourself, both are harder in their own way. And there should be a mix of both, depending on the scenario. When the other person, or when the situation is such that the other person is not reacting um, consciously, it's just reacting out of human instinct, out of, let's say, irrationally. So, at that stage, would be to be silent and listen. And in scenarios where we are at the stage to present ourselves, we will come up and present ourselves. So I believe there should be a mix of both. I do not consider anything as hard or easy. Back to you. Thank you.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. So I think we have room for one more question. So yeah. Right. Suppose.
Vivek has raised his hand. Vivek from the online audience.
I'm so sorry. I think we can. Vivek.
Yeah, thank you. Hello.
Hi, Vivek. So
Yeah, hi.
welcome to the stage. So Vivek, let us know what is your secret to handling tough conversation?
Sorry, what is your?
What is your secret to handling tough conversation?
Okay.
Over to
Yeah.
you.
So thank you so much. So I think I should say that to start the conversation is the first step. Like I can relate to my recent story which I faced when I had to do tough conversation. So I recently switched my job, and what the roles and responsibilities was briefed during my interview. When I joined the job, then so roles and responsibilities were not fully aligned. So I was depressed and I was stressed out that this is not the job what I was looking for. So I was delaying the tough conversation, but then I thought that it is impacting my career. It will impact my career, so I can't waste my time here. So I just take my step, and I'll just message to my the reporting manager, and he received my message very gracefully, and he gave me time to discuss, and I openly discussed with him that this is my this is the view I was thinking before joining the job, and these are the responsibilities I'm getting. So yeah, it was a positive discussion, and I was feeling very confident once I done with the discussion, because it was a very positive, and the things all uh, and he was also very happy with me that I took the basically step, and I connected with him. So I think that yeah, the secret is to not delay the conversation until it get against to you. So this is the my secret, that tough conversation. If you had to do conversation, then you should start conversation, unless it is with your wife. I think all married person can relate. At that time, you can delay the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vivek. Yeah, thank you for sharing your formula with us. So yeah, that brings us to the end of our tabletop session. So a very big thank you to all our great speakers who proved that difficult communications don't have to be very difficult. So over to our Toastmaster for this. Chintan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prince, for making sure that the table topics also fall in the same line as theme of today, and all the topics were wonderful. So huge round of applause to Toastmaster Prince. And as we are concluding the theme of today, I would like to share, as you are in the conversation of conflict, although people say that body language plays more important role, but you need to be very careful with your words. You need to use the words with so much strategy, remembering that words will linger even after your conversation ends. Toastmaster Vivek, can you mute yourself if that is?
Sure.
Thank you. So always remember that body language plays vital role, but words are equally, or I would say in conflict scenario or in difficult communications, words matter the most. And it is advisable that you use the words which are inclusive of both the parties, saying us rather than only I, or focusing on the problem rather than the person, or even the strategic silence or a pause will help you a long way when you are in conflicting situation. Because I heard recently that we pull the trigger of our mouth in so hurry that we don't aim for the right words. So it is good to always pause, aim for the right words, and then pull the trigger of our words and our mouth. So when you are in difficult situation or communication which is going to be conflicting, always use the inclusive words, use the phrases which we touched upon, and be strategic with your body language. And with that note, I welcome on the stage Toastmaster Dikshita to start the general evaluation section. And I thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to share the session or the Toastmaster of the Day theme with you. Thank you. And over to you, Toastmaster Dikshita. Today, I feel with the Eloquent Toastmasters Club account a bit like Doordarshan, where I want to slap my laptop so I can see clearly. But yeah, that's on a funny side.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chintan, for the lovely take on the topic, difficult conversations. So before I start with the detailed report of the meeting, let's welcome the evaluator of the first speech as Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dikshita. So before starting, let me admit I missed many part of today's session in bits and pieces due to voice clarity and other things. So probably with the actual audience, online audience, I can hear clearly, but the others people actually on the ground, I had some problems. Anyways, whatever I have noted, I will share with you. We all have voice, but only some of them use it. Today, my target speaker, Toastmaster Vidushi, attempted to use that voice not just to speak, but to write and connect with the audience. Toastmaster Vidushi, I like your speech very much. The struggles that you shared on the reflections part and the joys of writing or blogging that brought it to further, it has deeply connected with all of us, particularly your body language. I see your hand movements, your gestures. Maybe your profile is such that many times I have noticed you always look confident whenever you are on the stage. When you use the word particularly fast forward, I noticed you make ensure you step forward to reflect that. And definitely the tips that you gave to the whole observations, how we can become a better blogger like you. The tips that you shared, like the observation part where you stressed about, I can fully resonate for that. You can see all great speakers are a good speaker, are a good listeners, as well as good listeners, as well as good observers. Then you highlighted about their usage as well, so that you become synonymous to it. The emotions part, the editing part, the consistency that plays a critical role if anyone wants to embark on that journey. All was very good and very well received by the audience. As a suggestion, I felt that your transition from one idea to another was a little bit more in a hurry sense. When you started with this, someone saw your hands and predicted why you shouldn't write it. You immediately switched from that piece to another piece. That transition was a little bit too quick for me. I was done in that mode, in the previous mode, but you immediately bring me to the next mode. So I was expecting a little bit more fraction of seconds of pause can have elevated your conversations to a different language, to a different level. Secondly, I would say your speech reminds me that writing not just brings discovery in ourselves, but it also inspires others to do so. So I would say keep blogging, keep inspiring, and keep telling your stories because the world needs more authentic voices like yours. And definitely, I'm going to look today night what is written in my stars. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Dikshita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag, for the detailed feedback. Now let's welcome Toastmaster Sumita to give the evaluation of the second speech of Toastmaster Ashish.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dikshita. The winner is the winner is a person who stays consistent and practice every day. And Toastmaster Ashish is epitome of that. He always makes sure that he brings out something new to our table. So, Ashish, talking about your speech, I really loved the humor part of your speech, which was the main objective of your speech to share a story within any date. Starting from the tortoise and the hare story, and you asked audience that which is you, which if character feels that it is you, and then you reinforced it again. So you engage your audience, you put your point, and then you made all of us think on our feet that what is coming next, where we can relate to, and that is quality of a great orator and a great storyteller. Then you used great hand gestures when you said you used both your hand gestures and asked that, are you a hare or a tortoise? And then when you said the jaw dropped. So that shows that every word which you were speaking had an emotion and a gesture attached to it, which kept us hooked to the story. And that is also again a good quality of a storyteller, wherein they show does not speak. What does that mean? That when the speaker is speaking, the audience is able to see that when you said the principal spoke, it was from I became a topper. So you all could see that scene, and that is a great quality of you. Now, talking about humor, which was an intriguing part of your story, and you had to add that. So I could see the flavor of humor at so many points in a poetic way, where you said that I, from the topper, I became the flopper, and then when in doubt, sleep it out. So I could see bits and pieces of humor each and everywhere, and I guess humor is your forte. But any speech is not complete without any modifications or improvements in you. Now, let me talk about the improvements which you can add to your speech and that can take it to the next level. The first and very foremost thing is, Ashish, as a great speaker or auditor, we should understand the audience. You had an hybrid audience, so I would request you that if you are in a hybrid setup, ensure both the parties are engaged equally, because at times there was your movements were making a gesture that we were not able to hear you clearly as an audience. Some words were mum. So just ensure that you understand your audience and take your speech to you give your speech in that level. Then that y- y- your ending and the start did not match, which is a question to me. You started with the hair and tortoise story, but the message you gave in the end was that trying to come together is progress, working together is success. But I could not understand that how they are amalgamating. So probably you need to put a little more effort on joining and the structure of the speech. And third, but not the thirdly, you have to count your movements because they were sometimes too much that you were getting mum. So in all, it was a great speech, great story, great humor, but adding presence of the audience, engaging them, and having a structure in the end, leaving a great message would take it to the next level. Thank you, and back to the generally evaluated Toastmaster Dikshita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sumita, for the comprehensive feedback of the prepared speech of the Toastmaster Ashish. Now, I would like to call upon my tag team to give a detailed report of the overall meeting. So let's start with the timer. So welcome, Toastmaster Sumita.
Thank you. Hello everyone, back again with my report for for the first section for paper speeches. Toastmaster Vidushi, you took 5 minutes 18 seconds, and Toastmaster Ashish, you took 7 minutes 37 seconds. For the second section for table topics, Toastmaster Vidushi, you took 1 minute 14 seconds. Guest Aditya, you took 2 minutes 20 seconds. Guest Hirdusha, you took 2 minutes 30 seconds. Guest Himanshu, you took 2 minutes 30 seconds. Oh, sorry, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Sorry, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and sorry guys, I'm stuck in. Guest Himanshu, you took 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Toastmaster Shivam, you took 2 minutes 17 seconds. Toastmaster Vivek, you took 2 minutes 9 seconds. The last section for evaluators, Toastmaster Anurag, you took 2 minutes 58 seconds. Toastmaster Sumita, you took 3 minutes and 32 seconds. And that's my report. And thank you so much. And back to the Toastmaster Dikshita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh, for the detailed report. And thanks for keeping a note of all the timing which the way you have covered. So now I would like to welcome Toastmaster Vivek for sharing the report of our counter.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So here is my report. Toastmaster Vidushi used one time, so one time. Toastmaster Anurag used more than 5 times. Toastmaster Sumedha used so one time. Table topic master Prince used 3 times. So what 2 times? Guest Himanshu used 5 times. And I want to mention the person's name who did not use filler words. So Ashish, Dikshita, Chintan, and guest Nidusha did not use any filler words. So round of applause for them. So thank you. Here is my report. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vivek, for sharing the counter. Now let's welcome Toastmaster Anurag to share the grammarian report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dikshita. So I'll tell whatsoever I can write down. First, good usage of words. Most of the good usage was definitely lying in the bucket of Toastmaster Chintan. Out of tune, when things go south, awful, to read the room, micro expressions. They get their dopamine drops. That was nice usage in this scenario. Conflicting interests, when in doubt, sleep it out. And hook to the story. Some things that can be a little bit improvised, like there are many conversations. It can be reframed like there are a lot of conversations. I'm unable to understand that. So basically the speaker stopped at that point. He should have conveyed the whole things over here. Why I was not able to understand which thing. Was briefed during interviews. So there was some mismatch here. I take my step. It should be I decided to move on, something like that. And no one used today the word of the day and the phrase cognitive offloading and envious. I can understand this. These are little heavy words, but we can take note of it. I can understand whenever next time we will came across these words, so we can little bit relate to it. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Dikshita, for next of the proceedings.
Thank you all for sharing the reports. So let me start with the overall meeting and let me share the feedback of the overall meeting. So first of all, today we started a meeting a bit late. Apologies for that because of the technical glitch and there was some issues with the setting up of the room. So next time we'll keep a note on this and we'll work towards it. Okay. Let me start with the Toastmaster of the day, Chintan. Chintan, kudos to you for taking up such a difficult theme, difficult conversation. I really appreciated the way you started. There was audience engagement, and kudos to everybody who actually participated. So kudos to you on that, Chintan. Now, let me move to the Toastmaster. Let me move to the table topics. Table topic, Prince, Toastmaster Prince. Toastmaster Prince, this is the second time I believe you have taken up the table topic, right? So kudos to you because I really love the way you have improved a lot. You have actually made the audience engaged. And secondly, your starting line was very amazing. Okay, because with the moment you are here, you actually started the uses of impromptu speech and you have engaged the audience and you have tried to able to pull the guest people also to come on stage and speak at least few lines. Kudos to you as well. Now let's move to the evaluation section. So first, I would start with evaluator Anurag. So Toastmaster Anurag, your evaluation was detailed. I love the way you actually listened to the entire speech and your message. The way you closed the entire report was, the entire evaluation speech was very good. Well, I really love the ending, which you said that world needs authentic writer like Vidushi. I really love the way you ended actually the evaluation. And I appreciate that you actually paid attention to the minute details of the speech, like editing. She is like editing. Then she has mentioned about writing. So where you have incorporated all these details in the evaluation section, that was super. Now let's move to the second evaluator, Toastmaster Sumedha. Sumita, first of all, thank you so much for taking up this role at the last minute. Thanks a lot. Loved your expression. I really loved your expressions while giving the feedback. You actually imitated Ashish in few of the ways, the way he said, especially the sleeping way. I really loved it, and it was the way it was conveyed. It was really, really good. Now let me move. Okay. Now let's move to the evaluation of Toastmaster Saurav, who actually played the role of a timer. Your report was detailed. Just one recommendation: in case there's a miss in terms of seconds or even minute, it's okay. But in terms there's a miss in seconds or not, that's okay. Like you don't have to give the exact. If it's like 2 minutes, 11 seconds, or even it's 13 seconds, that's fine. You can just say like 2 minutes, 10 seconds, 11 seconds, that's okay. If it's a miss here and there, it's fine. Okay. Toastmaster Anurag, I don't have any feedback for you because I really love the way you took up the role at the last minute. And one recommendation definitely for you that please make sure that whenever you introduce the word of the day and the idiom of the day, post in the group as well as on the chat box so it's easier for everybody to know what's the word and the idiom of the day. Toastmaster Vivek, your report was good. It was detailed. Just one recommendation from my side, if you could just give examples like here and there. Supposedly, if you're saying that person should have taken a long pause or a small pause, you should just give one or two examples. Not a very detailed one, definitely, but just here and there, if you could just pick up one, two from the speeches or from the table topic or from anybody, just take it up and just set one, two examples so people have more clarity about our counter role. And last, not the least, that's the end of the meeting. And back to you, the presiding officer, Toastmaster Dikshita. Yeah, I forgot. Thank you, everybody, for attending this meeting and making this meeting successful. And meanwhile, Saurav, can you just post the voting link? Okay. It's been posted? All right. So meanwhile, the voting link has been posted. Just vote for your favorite just vote for your favorite role players. Okay. Meanwhile, I just want to announce one more thing in this meeting that we do have an award called Toastmaster of the Day, a Toastmaster of the Month. Okay. So the criteria I just like to jot down. The criteria of this award is not only attending the Toastmaster meeting, but you will be actually assessed on a number of roles you take per month. Okay. And especially bonus point if you take up table topic. Okay. So just clear up and take up as many roles as possible you can. Okay. And meanwhile, we can take the feedback from our guest. Himanshu, can you just come up on stage and say a few lines, like what do you like about the meeting, pros and cons?
Yeah. Thank you. So this was my first meeting, and overall, I really liked being over here. It's a wonderful opportunity for anyone who wants to improve their soft skills. And like diverse personalities over here. So it's a very good place to get to know different kinds of people. And I think I like the overall format. I feel it's very organized. There are different stages, and people are sticking to their rules and taking things very seriously. So kudos to everyone.
Thank you, Himanshu, for coming and attending the meeting. Advait, would you like to share a few lines about us and introduce yourself? Like, how did you hear about this club and what made you join this meeting on a Saturday morning?
Okay. So anyway, hello everyone, I'm Advait. I am 19 years old and I'm currently pursuing my graduation from UT. So basically, I heard from Toastmasters through my father. So he's an avid interest in this. So he pushed me to this. He said, go and attend one of these meetings. I think I had attended a meeting a few years back, but don't really recall that. So decided to come today and just see how it went. And even though I didn't speak, I hope that from next week onwards, I'll try to participate more. And generally, it was a lovely meeting, and I enjoyed myself.
Thank you so much, guest Advait, and good to see a youngster among us. And we'd love to have in our meetings in the near future. Yes, would you like to speak something like how did you feel about the meeting? What are the pros and cons about the meeting?
Yeah, cool. Um, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Okay, first of all, as the name of Toastmasters, the name of Toastmasters Club, Eloquent Toastmaster, it is an eloquent meeting where everybody had a chance to talk and to share their opinions about particular topics and everything. So I felt really comfortable. Plus, I also like to speak a lot in this stage. And thank you so much, all the Toastmasters, all the participants, and the guests, whoever willing to talk and whoever talked today. So I think in future also, I will join more and more sessions of your Toastmasters Club. And thank you so much for this golden opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, guest Indrusha, for joining us on a Saturday morning, and we love to see you in future meetings as well. Thank you so much. As the voting has been done by everybody. Okay, so now I've received all the responses. So let's call out the best role player for timer, grammarian, and R counter. Timer, Saurav, Toastmaster Saurav, grammarian, Toastmaster Anurag, and Toastmaster Vidi for R counter. Any guesses? Yes, Toastmaster Anurag. Anurag, thank you so much for taking up the role. It's left, I think. Yeah. Okay. So let's move to the next best role player. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chintan, table topic master, Toastmaster Prince, and general evaluator, Toastmaster Rikshita. Toastmaster Chintan. Toastmaster Chintan.
Thank you.
1 minute, we'll just click a picture. Somebody can take a picture, please. Chintan, and yeah. Okay, he's taking a screenshot. Thank you. Best prepared speech speaker, Toastmaster Vidushi, Toastmaster Ashish. It's Toastmaster Ashish. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Thank you. You make it at least 10 minutes. Best speech evaluator, Toastmaster Anurag, Toastmaster Sumedha. Yeah, Toastmaster Sumedha, but I think she's left the meeting. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Best table topic speaker, Toastmaster Vidushi, guest Aditya, guest Nidusha, guest Himanshu, Toastmaster Shivam, Toastmaster Vivek. Guest Aditya. Guest Aditya.
Be careful of the curve.
Yeah.
Last time, poor Sharad. Like Sharad is the winner. No.
Yeah. Toastmaster Vidushi. You can recheck the question. That's why taking so much of time. Yeah, recheck the color again. Thank you everyone for attending the meeting. But as a general evaluator, I think I have forgot to evaluate the table topic speakers. I have written the evaluation, like I have evaluated them. So let me just share it like quickly. Another like 4 minutes. Bear with us, please.
You're still within your time. So.
Oh, yeah.
This room feels good, right?
Yes.
Technical glitches we have to sort out. It feels much better. Yeah. It's like like the cage is open for Eloquent. So it's a bigger. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, that room. Yeah. So we might we'll find a way to set this up properly, but this will be better for us. Yeah, we can master this one. Yeah, we can do it.
Yes.
Treasurer will have to help us. Hopefully, it doesn't cost us more money. And if not, then it is good.
So for Toastmaster Vidushi, when I heard the topic for the first time, I was a bit confused, just like Aditya, internal Aditya who was conflicting with external Aditya. So even I wanted to raise my hand, but I was clueless. Okay, I was thinking how to start the conversation. I really appreciate that you took the first stand and came on the stage and actually introduced how the table topic is actually taken up. And your topic was very cute and funny. And I really loved the way you said the cuddle. That was the only answer you had. So you left a beautiful message that though you didn't win the conversation with your brother and it's still going on, but you still have one answer on your mind and it's cuddle. And that's the most and that's the most important thing I feel like that's the feel you appreciated, right? So I really love your take on the topic. Secondly, guest Aditya. I love the honest take on the topic because the way you started the topic, I was not even expecting that it will go in a different way because you actually, if you see, you actually today you role play like their internal Aditya was talking like, no, don't go. There is external Aditya, he's like, let me try. So I love the way you have able to differentiate between two Adityas but you have communicated the message pretty well.
Yes. Last time also I observed with this time also that you bring in your topic very unique and interesting books.
Yes.
Right. So last time I'm forgetting which one. Man's Search for Meaning. Yeah. Man's Search for Meaning.
Today also
one of my favorite. And today you talked about Until the Soul, which is also one of my favorite. So it is very good way, because then you are through your topic suggesting some interesting books to audience.
Yeah. Guest Himanshu. First of all, big round of applause for courage enough to come on the stage and talk because I know how it feels on the first day when you are a guest speaker and you are given a topic. I know really how it feels, but I really love the courage you take it up. You came to the stand and you actually spoke at least more than 1 minute. So kudos to you on that. Very well take on the topic. So maybe you can next time you can just start with your maybe a personal story or maybe anything so that you have a conclusion towards it. Because the way you said was good, but then it had a same tone if you see. And you kept repeating the same things, but otherwise it was a good effort as a first attempt. Very well done. Thank you. Yes, Nidusha, if you're there, okay. So I really love the way you started like a bullet train and your smiling face had all the answers to the topic, which actually Prince has asked you. So I really love your take on that and kudos to you as well. Toastmaster Shivam. First of all, I love your calming vibe whenever you're on the stage. The way you start the topic and way you have differentiated today between the silence and shyness was because you made sure that silence is good at some point, at some situations, at few situations, but shyness is not good when you actually have to showcase your work. So I really love the way you actually try to differentiate between both the words. It was a good take on the topic. And lastly, Toastmaster Vivek, if you are there. Okay, Toastmaster Vivek. Your topic was secret to handle a tough conversation. Your story was good. The way you started the story, the way you conveyed with your manager, that was pretty good. Maybe you could have just summarized a bit in terms like how the conversation went on, because you kept on saying that this is your belief, this is what you said, this is what you said. Maybe you could have beautifully started the story with a this is what going on in my mind. I spoke to my manager, and this is what happened. You could have created a beautiful story. The message was perfect because you actually ended with a message that conflict. Sometimes difficult discussions are difficult, but otherwise it was a good overall. It was a good take on the topic. That's all for today. Thank you everybody for joining us and making 479 meeting of Eloquent successful. Thank you everybody. Let's have a Zoomie, please. Vivek, can you take us to the picture of all of us? Yeah.
DPTR inside me cannot let the picture moment go. Correct? Yeah, so this we will address it.
I think someone else should try. I'm attending this meeting via mobile, so it's not clear.
Okay. Some of us could come in that camera and others could come here. Like I can be here as well. It's to move this thing. Okay. What now?
Some of you can come.
Yeah, you will have to come here.
Vivek, I'll take the picture. Just take a screenshot. That's fine.
Vivek is saying he joined by mobile. Okay. Dusha, can you take the screenshot?
Yeah, sure. I'm
Yes,
doing it. I think the screen is blurred.
Yeah, right. Screen is
Just change
screen
the-
is blurred as well. Yeah.
Yeah, should I help or you can do it?
No, just go to the.
The blurriness is because of the lighting.
नहीं, I think it's blur कर दिया उसको बाबू
Yeah, it's clear now. There. It's better now.
Rashmi's not picking very much.
Okay, all smile. Ready?
Yeah.
We Photoshop Chintan, Sumedha, and the rest of the people who have left.
Yeah.
Right? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Super.